Hello friends, in this video we will see how we can apply Chinese remainder theorem. So let's say these three equations are given to us. X is congruent to 3 mod 5, X is congruent to 2 mod 5 and X is congruent to 1 mod 3, and we want to apply this particular method. So before we start, we must verify that GCD of 5 comma 4 is 1, GCD of 5 comma 3 is also 1, and GCD of 4 comma 3 is 1. So that means these three numbers 5, 4 and 3, they are pairwise co-prime. So therefore we can proceed and we can apply this particular method. So related to each equation, I have created one separate rectangle. So for equation 1, I have created this red rectangle. For equation 2, I have created this green rectangle, and for equation 3, I have created this black rectangle. And with respect to each equation, I will write down the corresponding solution within this rectangles, and then finally we will add this solutions in order to get the final solution, which is nothing but final value of x. So let's start. So with respect to very first equation, we know that our answer is with 3 with respect to mode 5. So straight away I can write like this, because 3 mode 5 is actually 3. So with respect to that rectangle, x is satisfying equation 1, I can say. Similarly, I can proceed and I can straight away write down 2 within this green rectangle, because 2 mod 4 is 2, and I can also write 1 in this black rectangle, because 1 mod 3 is actually 1. So with respect to individual rectangles, the values are satisfying these three equations. But if I combine the solution, so now if instead of 3, if I talk about 3 plus 2 plus 1, which is nothing but 6, then 6 mod 5 is 1 and it's not equal to 3. So if I consider the final solution, which is nothing but 6, then with respect to 6, equation 1 is not satisfied. So my focus is on equation 1 only as of now. Okay, so let's understand what is the issue here. The idea is, if we just consider 3, then it's good, because 3 mod 5 is 3. But we are not just considering 3, we are adding some values in this 3, and we are adding 2 plus 1, which is ultimately 3 in this 3, and therefore our final answer is not matching. So what is the trick here? So instead of adding some random number, if I add something which is multiple of 5, let's say 5 times p, then if I perform mod 5 operation on this modified value, then we will get 3 as our answer. So the idea is, let's say a is 3 in our case, b is, let's say, multiple of 5, and then I want to perform mod 5. So from this simplification, I can straight away write the answer will be 3 mod 5 plus 5p mod 5, which is nothing but 0, because if we consider multiple of 5 and then if we take a remainder, then the remainder will be definitely 0. So final answer will be 3. So the trick is, instead of adding any numbers, if we add multiple of 5 with respect to equation 1, then our final answer will survive, right? So what we will do is we will multiply this equation, we'll multiply this particular solution 2 with 5. Similarly, we'll also multiply this 1 with 5. And now if we consider the revised solution, then the revised solution is 3 plus 10 plus 5, which is nothing but 18. And if you can see, then 18 modulo 5 is actually 3. So we are with respect to first rectangle box, we are getting the correct answer. Okay, so now similar thing we need to do with respect to second equation as well as third equation. So we'll multiply first box value within first box by 4, and we'll also multiply the value within last box by 4, and same thing we need to repeat for equation 3 also. So we'll multiply this with 3, we'll also multiply this with 3. So now the first problem is solved, but now by doing this, there is one more issue which is generated, because initially here, if you notice, then within this red box only 3 was there and 3 mod 5 was 3. But now we are multiplying this 3 with 12. So my answer is 36. And if I consider 36 mod 5, then answer is 1. It's not 3. So because of this adjustments, my initial solution is destroyed, but this should be nothing but 3. So I need to generate some mechanism using which I can regenerate my initial solution, which is nothing but 3. Okay, so in order to do so, I will use this particular equation. So what is the idea of this equation? So let's say value of a is 3. Okay, value of a is 3, value of c is 5. Then basically I am talking about 3 into b mod 5. And if I talk about simplification, then simplification will be like this: 3 mod 5 times b mod 5 and mod 5. And I know that whatever I multiply with 3, I want my final answer to be equal to 3. So my final answer should be equal to 3. And if I want my final answer equal to 3, then this value b mod 5 must be equal to 1, because then only I will be able to regenerate this 3. Okay, so in order to do so, I will use a concept which we already know, which is nothing but multiplicative inverse. So what is the idea of multiplicative inverse? Let's say this is my 3, I am keeping it aside, and now I have some number. So that particular number in our case is 12. So I will multiply 12 with some another number, let's say y, such that if I take modulo 5 with respect to this new number, so now this 12 times y is nothing but my b, and I have generated b in such a way that if I perform b mod 5, then I will get 1. So how to generate this y? For that particular purpose, we already know the concept of multiplicative inverse. If you don't, then you can watch my video related to it. Okay, so now let's continue. So now my entire focus is on generation of b, right? And if I can generate b and if I can substitute value of y, then I am if I can find such y, and if I can then I am done, because then what I will do, I will just multiply whatever my existing solution is with this y, right? And let's say this is first number, so I am interested in y1 value. Then similarly I will be finding y2 with respect to this, and I will be finding y3 with respect to the last rectangle box, and then that this new x will be my final solution. So now let's see how to find out y. Okay, so the idea is, with respect to first equation, 12 times y1 must be congruent to 1 mod 5. So the entire focus is on generation of 1, right? And we know that y1 is nothing but multiplicative inverse of 12, right? If this is the configuration, because if you remember the definition of multiplicative inverse, then this is the idea, right? A bar is multiplicative inverse of a if you can get if a into a times a bar is congruent to 1 mod n. Here value of n is 5, and since GCD of 12 comma 5 is 1, we can actually find out y1. Okay, so let's try. If I substitute y is equal to y1 is equal to 1, then I will get 12 modulo 5, which is nothing but 2. So y1 is equal to 1 won't work. Similarly, 24 modulo 5 is 4, right? So it won't work. So if I substitute y1 is equal to 3, let's say, then I am getting 36, right? So in 36 modulo 5 is actually 1, right? So I can say that value of y1 is nothing but 3. If I talk about this particular equation, then I will start with 1. So if y2 is equal to 1, then 15 modulo 4 is not equal is 3, it's not equal to 1. So if I substitute y2 is equal to 2, then 30 modulo 4 is 2, which is not equal to 1, so it won't work. If I substitute y2 is equal to 3, then 45 modulo 4 is actually 1, so y2 is equal to 3 will work. For the third equation, what we can do, 20 y3 is congruent to 1 mod 3, and since GCD of 20 comma 3 is equal to 1, we can find out such y3. So if we start with y3 is equal to 1, then 20 modulo 3 is 2, so this won't work. If we substitute y3 is equal to 2, then 40 modulo 3, which is nothing but 1 actually, so we can say value of y2 value of y3 is nothing but 2. So now if we substitute these three values, y1 is equal to 3, y2 is equal to 3, and y3 is equal to 2, then we'll get the final value of x. Okay, so value of y3 is, value of y1 is nothing but 3, value of y2 is again 3, and value of y3 is nothing but 2. So you can also use extended Euclid algorithm to find out these values. I have just directly started with integer values of this y1, y2, y3 and got the answer. So now if we simplify this, then basically this is nothing but 36 times 3, which is nothing but 108. The next box value is nothing but 9 into 2, 18, 18 into 5, which is nothing but 90. And the last box value is nothing but 20 times 2, which is nothing but 40. And if we simplify this, then we'll get 130 plus 108, which is nothing but 238, right? So with respect to 238, these three equations will be satisfied definitely, but we are interested in the smallest positive value of x. So in order to do so, what we will do, we'll multiply these three numbers 5, 4 and 3. So we will get one new number, which is nothing but 60, and we will take mode 60 with respect to our final answer, which is nothing but 238. So if I do this, if I perform 236 modulo 60, then I will get 58. And now you can verify 58 modulo 5 is nothing but 3, 58 modulo 4 is nothing but 2, and 58 modulo 3 is nothing but 1. So now we have solved this particular question. So if 4 equations are given, then one more box is required like this, and the same trick will work. And if we want to write it down formally, then formally we are doing this. First we are finding out this capital M. If you remember, then in the very last step we have performed this modulo M, right? So modulo M is nothing but multiplication of all these values, right? And whenever we are considering the very first term, then in the very first term we are not including, if you remember, then m1, we are multiplying the first term with m2, m3, m4 up to mr. So that value is found like this: mk is equal to m upon small mk, right? So if I substitute k is equal to 1, then I will get like this: m1 is equal to nothing but m upon m1, right? So basically I will get this m2 into m3 up to mr. So that's what we are doing with respect to very first multiplication. And these are my rectangles, right? Like this. And each rectangle, first we are starting with the remainder value, which is nothing but a1, a2 up to ar in our case. Then we are multiplying with this term which I have just explained, mk's. And finally we are also finding out this inverse values, which are nothing but y1, y2, y3 up to yr. So that purpose of each thing is clear. This a1, a2, a3 up to ar are required for the initial solution buildup. This multiplication m1, m2, m3 up to mr, those multiplications are required so that initial solution survives, because we are also adding something. So that something must be multiple of m1 with respect to the first rectangle. That addition must be multiple of m2, right, with respect to the second rectangle, small m2, and so on. So therefore we are multiplying with m1, m2, capital m1, capital m2 up to capital mr. So to make sure that those final answer has the same configurations which we require, right? And this inverse is required because now we are changing the value with respect to individual rectangle, and by multiplying multiplying with this inverse will make sure that the required solution will survive, right? So that is the idea of this Chinese remainder theorem, and you can extend it, right? So value of r can be anything. All you need to do is first verify whether these numbers are pairwise relatively prime or not. Then only this will work. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.